This morning, local teachers are learning hands-on life-saving techniques to make sure students are safe in the classroom. Gail Gould, known in Houston as the CPR and Safety Lady, will be training these teachers as Westminster weekday schools. She's joining us live there with a preview of the event. Gail, good morning.
Good morning, Zach. How are you this morning?
So far, so good. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We are really looking forward to you giving us a demonstration of CPR and AED training, all life-saving techniques.
Yes. I'm here at Westminster Weekday School this morning, getting ready to teach the teachers how to save a life. And you know what, Zach? In preschool, such as Westminster, it is required in Texas by law they have CPR, AED, and first aid training. So August is the busiest month because all the preschools must have this training. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the adult. In the CPR world, an adult is anyone 8 and up. And so the way you'll know if someone needs CPR, all you have to do is check for responsiveness. And if they're not responding to you, then you check for breathing, and you check for breathing for 5 to 10 seconds. If they're unresponsive, not breathing normally, not breathing at all, they need CPR. So this is for anyone over the age of 8. I'm going to put one hand on the sternum directly between the two nipples, other hand on top, and I'm just going to give chest compressions. And that's it. And this is called hands-only CPR. You don't even have to breathe for people who are like 10, 11 and up. So I'm going to continue to do this until advanced help arrives. And what this is doing, Zach, is this is hopefully keeping their heart, brain, and lungs alive until advanced help arrives. Now, that's what you do for anyone 8 years and up. Anyone between the ages of 1 up to 8, the only difference is, and that's a child in CPR, 1 to 8. The only difference is I'm going to use one hand on a child. And so it's the same thing. You check for responsiveness. If they're not responding to you, they're not breathing normally, not breathing at all, they need CPR. So I'm going to use one hand, place the heel of my hand directly between the two nipples on the vertical axis of the sternum, and I'm just going to continue to give chest compressions until advanced help arrives. On children, though, since their lungs are smaller, you do need to breathe for children. But teenagers and older, you can just do hands-only CPR. Now, here is a baby, and a baby in the CPR world is 0 up to 1. And the main cause of unintentional death of babies under the age of 1 is obstructed airway, meaning they choked on something. So I'm going to shake and shout the baby. I'm going to tap her foot, and she is not responding to me. I'm going to check her for breathing, and she is only gasping and gurgling. That's not normal breathing, so she needs CPR. So for a baby, I'm going to use 2 fingers. I'm going to place my 2 fingers right beneath her nipple line, and I'm going to give her 30 chest compressions, pressing about 1 to 1.5 inches deep. So I'm going to do that 30 times. Then I'm going to tilt her head back. I'm going to take her nose up to where it's at 12 o'clock, and I'm going to give her 2 little puffs. I'm not going to give her puffs because I would get lipstick all over her this morning. So I'm going to do 30 chest compressions, and then I'm going to do 2 puffs of air, 30 and 2, 30 and 2. And what you're doing for these victims of cardiac arrest is you're hopefully keeping the heart, brain, and lungs alive until advanced help arrives. Now, what I think a lot of parents probably don't realize, they just assume that their child's teacher knows CPR. Only daycare providers, preschools who house really, really young children, do the teachers need to know CPR. Once your child gets to grade school, kindergarten, and up, grade school, middle school, high school, then it's a choice. Only one person in the entire school needs to know CPR. It's usually the nurse or the PE teacher or the athletic trainer. So some school districts here will make the decision to train their teachers, but it's not required by law like it is in preschools such as Westminster. Now, the other thing I think a lot of people are not aware of is the importance of the AED, the automated external defibrillator. So 90% of adults who go into cardiac arrest are going to need to get defibrillated with the use of the AED. And so I'm going to place this AED on this larger mannequin. And so what CPR does, it keeps the heart, brain, and lungs alive until the AED arrives. So let's say I've been giving her CPR. The AED has arrived. I'm going to turn it on.
Apply pads to patient's bare
I'm going to
chest.
cut all the clothes from the navel up.
Plug in pads connector next to flashing light.
So the chest is bare. So her chest is bare. Now I'm going to place these pads on her, and I'm listening to what it's telling me to do here.
Apply pads. Plug in connector.
They're very, very easy to use, Zach. You can see there's a red arrow. So I'm going to place this right where the red arrow is showing me. Again, there's a red arrow showing me to place it right beneath the armpit. Now I'm going to plug it in.
Apply pads. Plug in connector.
So it's telling me exactly what to do. They're very, very easy to use. Now I'm going to wait for its instructions.
Analyzing heart rhythm. Do not touch the patient.
It just told me, do not touch patient.
Shock advised. Charging.
By the way, this is a training device.
Stay clear of patient.
I'm going to hold this up so you can see it.
Deliver shock now. Press the
I'm going
orange
to press that
button
shock
now.
button,
Shock
and their
delivered.
body will kind of jolt up,
Pause.
just like you see on TV.
If needed, begin CPR.
And then I would determine if she needed CPR. So this AED, in conjunction with CPR, is what's going to save most lives. That's what saved Damar Hamlin. The CPR and AEDs would save Ronnie James. And both of those places, the NFL and University of Southern California, had very advanced emergency action plans. And that's why both of those athletes are alive today. The other thing I think a lot of parents aren't aware of is that this doesn't happen just to old, out-of-shape people. It happens to young people as well. In fact, 1 in 300 student athletes has an undetected heart problem. So we're fortunate here in Texas that all schools are required to have AEDs, and they use them. Yeah, it's not some rare thing. It unfortunately does happen sometimes to young people as well.
Yeah, and Gail, the hope is you
Any
never
questions?
have to use this, but it's always great to
Yes.
know how to in the event of an emergency. You were wonderful. You made this so easy. Besides CPR and AED, what other training courses do you offer?
Well, I offer 2 other courses at the time, and one of those courses is called Stop the Bleed, and it is a program that empowers people with the skills to learn how to stop life-threatening bleeding. You may have been in Kroger or HEB and see Stop the Bleed kits on the walls. Really, really important. This is 2023. We all need to know how to do this. And the other program that I offer is Active Violence Emergency Response Training. And this is a 3-hour interactive program that empowers people with skills to learn how to respond in case of an active violence or active shooter. Both trainings are critically important and very relevant to what's going on here today.
Gail, you were wonderful. We so much appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.